How about it, guys, and happy Sunday. Welcome back to Just Tooling Around. Cam here. So, like my short that was posted the other day mentioned, we're going to jump on doing some interior work today. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these door panels mounted up, get them mounted, get the holes drilled, and then pull them back off and get them dyed color to match the interior. So, let's get to it. So, we got the door panel out of the box and unwrapped here. And what I went ahead and did is I unbolted the little rubber armrest here because, as I mentioned in my little short the other day, this one doesn't have the holes drilled for the bracket where the armrest goes. So what I've done, I pulled that off and we're going to go mount it up on the door. I took the screws for that bracket and I've got them protruding up from the bottom. I'm probably going to take, put a little bit of anti-seize or take a Sharpie color over them, something I can see on the bottom of this. I'll press it down, make a mark, and then we'll come from the bottom side and drill some holes. And then once we get them set, then we'll come through and drill through this little rubber piece here and get that mounted up. We'll go ahead and stick the door panel on, test fit it, and see how everything looks, and then try to get our hole placement. So I went ahead and took the window crank off, pulled the little piece for the door lock off, and I've got my vice grips holding the door in place right here. So I got my 2 screws ran up from the bottom here, protruding up. We're going to use that as something to help locate our holes on here. I'm hoping that they stick out far enough that I can at least make a little bit of a dimple on the back. And what I'm going to do, I mentioned a minute ago and I forgot to, I'm going to go grab a little bit of anti-seize and just put on the top of those just to provide a little bit more of a mark. So I'll be right back. Alright, no anti-seize, but I got this little bit of thread sealant here, so there ought to stick enough. I'll leave us enough of a mark. Let me pull this on. We'll be able to tell where those holes need to be drilled at. Alright. So, hey, if I don't wipe it all off before we even get started. Through here. One thing I did notice the other night when I got these out of the package and just started looking at them and comparing them to the OEM door panels, the hole where the door handle goes through right there is a whole lot smaller on these. It's a lot tighter fit there. There we go. Alright. That's all. There we go. We got her seated in place. And our holes here. Front, back, side to side line up. I think there's a hole. I feel one screw sticking up right there and there. So I think we got our marks. A little clamp is slipping over here. Door's wanting to open back up. Alright, so now that we've got that, we will go ahead, pull this back out. Alright. There we go. We've got our 2 little holes marked. Hard to see on the camera. Right there and right there. So now I can take and then go put a small hole in there. We should be good to go on that. Alright. So I went ahead and took just a little small drill bit and punched 2 pilot holes through where our marks were on the door panel. So now what I've done is I went and I got the screws that come with the kit right here, and I matched up a drill bit for those. So I'm going to come back from the top side and drill these through. And then what we'll do then is bolt the little armrest piece on top of it and get it ready, and then just mark our holes to the bottom there and drill up through it, and everything on this side should be ready to go. Grab the screws for that armrest. Got my holes drilled through the armrest piece here. They are pretty tight to the edge, so I'm probably going to end up having to use different hardware. The screws they supplied have a pretty large head on them, but I don't think it's going to actually fit in there, so I have to probably shrink up what I'm using, but we'll make that work. For this piece, since it is the soft rubber, I'm just going to hit it with adhesion promoter and spray it. But for the door panel itself, I'm going to take and scuff it and then shoot it. But really just trying to take the sheen off of it, so hopefully it'll stick. I plan on hitting this with the adhesion promoter as well. I'm going to scuff this panel up real quick and then hit it with a little bit of spray away glass cleaner to knock the dust off of it. And then I'll probably move my sawhorses out there and just take the cardboard box that it came in, use that to spray the door handle itself where the armor is. I'm also going to take and tape off. So unlike the factory door panel, the trim on this one, or excuse me, the weather stripping doesn't clip on from the bottom. It is actually almost got like a hog ring that went through it and is through the actual door panel itself. So I can't really remove those. So I'm just going to tape off around those and I'll spray up to it the best I can. It's not going to be show quality, but it'll be much better than no door panel or the old ratty ones that were in there before. So. All right. I got this scuffed pretty well. I'll go grab the glass cleaner and spray it down. And then when I come back, I'll have it set up out there and ready to spray. All right, so I changed my mind. I was going to put it out there in the yard. And now it actually looks like it's fixing to start raining. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to leave it here in the garage. I cut all the fans off. That part is those fans will keep the gnats away. But that'll be all right. We'll make it work. Yeah, a little dirty. Wipe them down. I'll wipe the armrest piece down. Really wish there was a better way to stand the armrest pieced up or hang it. We'll see how it goes. Hang it from the top like that. I'm gonna let the rest of this dry, and I'm gonna go find some painter's tape that I can take and take off where that weather stripping is along the top of the door. Just run a piece behind it and then fold it over top of it. I think I'm also going to go ahead and pop. Yeah. There you go. Pop a little piece for the door lock out, and I'll put it back in when we finish. Tape here. See what the easiest way to take and slip that under the edge. There it is. Well, it'll be a little tougher than I thought to do this. I do it in small section at a time. Almost where you need an extra set of hands to do this. There we go. Got that section done. Got just a little piece here, a little piece of this hanging out. Peel that back. Man, without that fan, that's rough here in the garage. There we go. All right. All right, let's see how this works. I am glad I bought 2 cans of this stuff. Seems like it's going to take a decent amount to cover up this black. Alright, give that a minute to dry, and I can hit it with another coat. So after 3 heavy coats, I'd say medium to heavy coats of that interior dye and paint, pretty well got everything covered. I'm really liking the way that door panel turned out. Rubber handle, I laid it down, I sprayed it a few times, then I stood it up on its edge just to get the back side here a little better, and then on the front where your arm basically would sit at. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I did a little bit extra up here, like up on the armrest area where I figured your arm would be rubbing and things like that most of the time, but looks pretty decent. I'm pleased with it. I will say it does, it takes quite a bit of this stuff. I pretty much use that entire can up just doing one door panel and the armrest. I may have overdid it, but I'll say it felt like I needed all of that to cover up the black. I did make sure to come under here and shoot the edges to kind of wrap that paint around so that there's no chance of seeing any of the remaining black around the edges or anything like that. So I think we're gonna let that sit and dry for a little while now and jump on getting the passenger side ready. I won't bore you to death doing that one on camera. I'll just get the passenger side ready, get it painted, and then probably come back at you tomorrow when we install everything in the truck. Well, we have been battling rain here like crazy for like the last 10 days. I'm pretty sure the last 2 weeks it's pretty much rained every afternoon and throughout most of the day on and off. But finally caught a little bit of break in the rain, and I'll flip you around here and show you some of the progress that we made and kind of where we're at right now since the last little clip. So I was able to get the driver's side door panel installed, and overall it looks really good. One thing I will say is the soft rubber of those armrests, that die does not really stick to it. So when I do the passenger side, I've already got it taken off and it's in the shop or in the garage right now being sprayed. I'm not going to spray the door handle. I'm going to leave it black because as soon as you put any pressure on it and that rubber kind of gives any, the paint just peels right off of it. So I'm going to leave that as is. Overall, I'm really glad with the way that it turned out. It fits well. Like I said, the only thing I've really got a problem with is this. So in addition to that, on the other one, the underside of it actually had like a metal reinforcement. This does not. It's just straight plastic and rubber. So when you go to tighten your screws down, it kind of dishes that in, and it really isn't, it's not bolted in as solid as the factory one would be. So I think what I'm going to do is here in a little while get a little piece of sheet metal and just cut something out the same shape as that and either sandwich it up under it or just paint it black and put it over the top. One of the two. Nothing, not a showstopper right now. This will work for the time being. Just kind of further down the road want to do that. So like I said, I got the passenger side in there drying. I'll show you a little bit of the other work that I've been doing. I did hint in my last clip that I had some other content I was going to post. Every bit of the sound's messed up on that video, so I'm not even going to waste the time trying to post that because you wouldn't be able to tell what I was talking about or doing anyways. So I did both of the power steering lines here recently. If you remember, we had a pretty significant power steering leak. Majority of it was coming from that pressure hose and the return hose. Both were fairly dry rotted and actually looked like original. So replaced both of those. I had planned to replace the rag joint, and the replacement that I got was way too small. So I returned it, and I'm waiting on another one to come in from LMC. So hopefully here in the next few days I'll have that and can swap it. Let's see. We did have the LED side marker lights on, and if you remember, that fender was crinkled pretty bad right there, had a bad crease through it, and it had cracked those LED lights. I bought a stud gun and a kit and pulled as much of it out as I could. Was able to get some of the original, I say original, like the little Amazon knockoff original ones with the chrome trim. I was able to get that fit in there, and it actually fits and seats really nice compared to the way it was. So went ahead and swapped those out, and I bought some cans of supposed to be pre-mixed like factory paint. I think the color code on this is russet orange metallic, and it looks like it matches pretty well. I hit a spot there and kind of blended it into the fender, did a little bit down in between the two stripes, did a small portion on the back of the cab, and then over on the passenger fender as well. Those are the main things I've been doing here over the past, I'd say, month or so. But kind of give you the rundown on the reason why. So on June the 12th and 13th, it's a Friday and a Saturday, LMC Trucks and Good Guys are putting on the Southeastern Nationals at the Perry Fairgrounds in Perry, Georgia. It should be a weekend car show thing. My plan is to get the 78 C10 running, and I say running well enough that I trust it to drive it from the house to Perry, which is about a 200-mile round trip. So it'll be more miles than I've ever put on the truck since I've owned it, and I would venture to say more miles than have been put on the truck since like 2010 or so. So a little bit of a road trip for it, stretch its legs and kind of test it out. That was the reason why I started working on the power steering and stuff like that. Originally, I had not planned to do the door panels, but my interior door handle broke on the driver's side, and when I went to replace it, the door panel fell apart. So it kind of spiraled into needing to do door panels. And then during that time, I lost the keys to the truck, so I had to replace the ignition cylinder and a bunch of other stuff. You know, kind of pulled me away from the main things that needed to be done to make the truck roadworthy. But we're back on it. Like I said, did the power steering. The other two things that need to be done to get it, what I'd say, roadworthy, or where I'll trust it for that length of time. Going to go ahead and change the oil and filter again in it, but I really want to flush the radiator and flush the coolant system. A good portion of the drive will be on the interstate at interstate speeds, and I don't want to have any issues with overheating, especially during the middle of June. So plan to do that over the next couple of weeks, and if we have time, I say next couple of weeks, it's 2 weeks from yesterday, so I don't have a whole lot of time to knock all this stuff out in, but we'll get it done. I'd like to take a look at the back brakes. If you remember, we redid the fronts when we got the truck running, but we've never touched the drums in the back. I'd like to do that. If we don't get around to it, it's not the end of the world. The main thing, though, is changing that oil and flushing the radiator. Got it up on jack stands, and I got my oil pan up under there, or my little catch pan. I've already loosened the bolt on it, and I did just drive the truck, so it's pretty warm. So I'm going to slide under there. I'm going to see if I can get the camera angled where you guys can see the oil that's coming out. Let's go ahead and get this thing drained. Try not to drop the bolt. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Something right up here on the edge. Try not to let it roll into there. Let her drain. So I got the oil drained, got my new filter here, and got our oil. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with oil real quick and get it thrown on there, and start it back raining again. So I got to hurry up and get this done before it really does start coming down on me. Well, just as I was finishing up the oil change, the bottom started to come down. So it's raining pretty well right now, so this is probably going to be a stopping point for today. I was really hoping that I could get that door panel mounted today, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen with the rain. Looks like it's pretty well set in for tonight, and it'll be here for the next few hours or so. And with that being said, it's Sunday evening. It's already pretty late, so rather than drag this out, I'm just going to hold off and do that door panel at another time. So I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and call the video for today. Next time you come back at me, hopefully I'll have that door panel complete. We can flush the coolant system and get this thing ready for the road. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you again next time on Just Tooling Around. See you.